Hello to boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again here on Talk and Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today, courtesy of our friends from across the pond at boxing247.com. Today we're going to lead off with a story out of Mexico, kind of a continuing story, quite frankly, on the World Cup Boxing Series they have, promoted by RJJ, that's Roy Jones Jr. Boxing Promotions, and De La O Promotions. So they have a big fight coming up tomorrow night. That would be Thursday night, March 24th, featuring in the main event, Salvatore Tapia going up against Emiliano Cruz. Salvatore Tapia, nicknamed Chango, is 12-3-1 with 10 knockouts, and he's fighting out of Mexico. Emiliano Lital Cruz is 13-3 with 12 knockouts, also fighting out of Mexico. The co-feature, a super middleweight fight, going 8 rounds, hopefully. Lester Martinez is 10-0 with 9 knockouts, sounds like a thumper, fighting out of Guatemala City, Guatemala, and he's going toe-to-toe against Jose Luis Alcaraz Zuniga, who's 16-6 with 9 and 1 draw and 9 knockouts, fighting out of Mexico. In the lightweight, super middleweight division, Jorge Droguito Lugo Cota, who's 7-0, undefeated, 7 knockouts, fighting out of Sinaloa, Mexico. He's going up against Ricardo Palmito Badiro Rodriguez, 7-2-2 with 1 knockout, also out of Mexico. In the super featherweight division, Edgar Diablo Vargas, 7-1, 6 knockouts, fighting out of Jalisco, Mexico, is going toe-to-toe against Armando El Chica Almanza, 5-0-1 with 2 knockouts out of Guanajuato, Mexico. In the featherweight division, Hector Tigre Cruz is going up against Victor Tyson Rodriguez, who's 3-0 with 3 knockouts. In the lightweight division, we see Marco Moreno, 5-0 with 4 knockouts, fighting out of Sonora, Mexico, going up against Jonathan Zuniga, 6-3 with 6 knockouts. Wow. In the super featherweight clash, with a fighter to be announced yet, we see Paulo Cruz, who's 6-0 with 5 knockouts, as I say, with his opponent to be announced shortly. So again, that'll be taking place in the Palenque de la Expo in Obregón, Sonora, Mexico, tomorrow night. That's March 24th. As I say, promoted by our friends down at RJJ Boxing, De La O Promotions, part of the World Cup Boxing Series, and in association with Team Cruz Promotions. Good stuff. All right, on we go to Philadelphia, where this Friday night, RDR Promotions will present an action-packed 6-bout card at the 2300 Arena. In a featured bout, Isaiah Wise will take on veteran Cameron Crawl in a middleweight bout scheduled for 6 rounds. Wise fights out of Philadelphia and has a record of 10-2-2 with 6 knockouts. The 29-year-old Wise is a 6-year veteran and has wins previously over undefeated Mike Daniels Jr., who's 3-0, Enver Halili, who is 10-2, and Wise has won 3 in a row, and his latest outing, he stopped Dwayne Williams in the opening round on October 9th, 2021 at the 2300. Crawl fights out of Las Vegas, has a deceiving record of 18-21-3 with 5 knockouts. The 28-year-old has faced a who's who of boxing in his 11-year run, and he has wins over Luis Bello, Manuel Lopez, Desmond Brook, Josh Torres, Maurice Lee, Jose Borrega, and Razvan Hadayaznarov. Crawl has also faced former world champions Maurice Hooker and Jamal James, contenders Alex Martin, Eric Bone, Keith Hunter, Elvis Rodriguez, Shanari Bunch, Montana Love, and Custio Clayton. Wow. In other bouts, we see Raekwon Butler, 4-2, out of Brooklyn, fights Leonidas Fulks, 2-7-1, out of Winchester, Virginia. Isaiah Selden is going up against Timirlin Rymkulov out of Philadelphia. And Romel Cruz is taking on Frank Boston. And Boston's fighting out of San Antonio, Texas. Good stuff. A new RDR Promotions signee, Nimal the Chosen One, farmer, out of Philadelphia, takes on Anthony Curtis, who's 3-15 with 2 knockouts, fighting out of Butte, Montana. And Vishon Champion out of Dayton, Ohio, battles Jorge Sosa out of Paraguay in a welterweight bout. So there you go. Tickets are on sale, and looks like another good fight set up by our friends RDR Promotions in Philadelphia. Moving up the road a little bit, we see that David Alaverdian is going toe-to-toe against Jeno Tonte. That'll take place at one of our favorite places, the Lincoln Ballroom of the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center in Dearborn, USA. That's Dearborn, Michigan, just outside of Detroit. That's taking place on the 2nd of April. And as I said, super flyweight David Alaverdian, who's 5-0 with 4 knockouts and has been featured on Knuckle Up on Talkin' Fight, will make his debut in the United States on a 6-round showcase bout against Hungary's Jeno Tonte, who's 9-9 with 8 knockouts at RDR Promotions' next Detroit Brawl. As I said, that'll take place on April 2nd. Tickets are on sale and can be purchased through Salida's website, I'm sure. An 8-time Israeli national champion and bronze medalist at the 2012 European Championships, Alaverdian was brought to the U.S. by his manager, Dr. Daniel Carpenter, and promoter Stephen Reed. The Armenian Jewish slugger now lives in Las Vegas and trains with the legendary Floyd Mayweather Sr. After shortages of willing American opponents led him to take his first 5 fights in Mexico, the 28-year-old Alaverdian says he's happy to be appearing on Salida Promotions' next event. A successful former fighter turned promoter, Dimitri Salida, was appointed WBC representative to Israel last year, working alongside the Middle East Boxing Council to develop boxing in the region. He and Alaverdian met through a mutual association with the former Attorney General of Israel, Yehuda Weinstein. Very cool story, and you can read further details on that story on the boxing247.com website. Elsewhere, taking place in Costa Mesa, California, at the Hangar, undefeated prospect Ersteto Mercado is 4-0 with 4 knockouts, looks to make it 5 in a row as he fights, as I say, at the Hangar, April 14th against his opponent yet to be named. The scheduled 6-round bout is promoted by RDR Promotions, and it'll be taking place on the popular Fight Club OC series. A quick little quote from Mercado. It feels good to be right back in the ring. I'm happy to be staying so active and keeping the momentum going as my career couldn't have started any better. It's important to get ring time, especially as I start out, so I can improve early in my career and be prepped for what might come later. My goal is not to be a world champion, but a multiple weight world champion, and each fight is a step in that direction. Good stuff. Former flyweight king Charlie Edwards wants to make British boxing history by joining his brother Sonny as a reigning world champion. The 29-year-old has today signed a promotional deal with Probellum and firmly sets his sights on winning a world crown at a new weight. The former WBC flyweight champion is aiming to become a 2-weight title holder this year and sit with his brother Sonny, who brilliantly defended his IBF flyweight belt at Probellum Evolution in Dubai on Saturday, at the top of the sport. The dream for Charlie is that he and Sonny could fight for world titles on the same card, and with Probellum's backing, the Surrey-born stylist knows it will become a reality. I've been a world champion, but now I'm focused on creating history and leaving a legacy in the sport, said Edwards, who's, by the way, 17-1 with 7 knockouts. I want titles at super flyweight and to move through the weight divisions. It is my intention to go down as one of the greatest fighters in British boxing history, and I know Probellum share my vision. I'm sure they do. All right, let's see. Oh, Joshua Buatsi going toe-to-toe against Craig Richards. Venue to be announced, but that'll take place on May 21st. And says Eddie Hearn, Matchroom chairman, welcome to London, he said at a huge press conference for a fantastic fight. I say domestic fight, but I also say a fight that has such huge ramifications for the world 175 pounds scene. Joshua Buatsi, Olympic bronze medalist, against Craig Richards, a man who has won British titles, challenged for the world title as well. This is the kind of fight that gets me excited. This is the kind of fight that seems so obvious. 2 brilliant domestic fighters, but also 2 world-class fighters as well. Joshua Buatsi at that press conference went on to say, a few months ago, I sat in your, pointing at Eddie's office, and said, get me these fights. There's good light heavyweights in the country, so it's good to mix it with one of them. As fighters, you go to shows and you watch, and when there's a main event with a buzz, you think you wish you were in there. But I got mine now. For me, it's just preparing for May 21st. Spider will bring his A game, but I'm ready. I wouldn't dub it as the hardest test for me, but it's just the most important fight in my career right now. It's the next fight, the fight I must win. Last time with Bolotniks, but this time it's Spider. I prepared as diligently as I do. Come May 21st, I'll be ready. I have to thank Matchroom and Spider's team, also my team, for making this fight happen. Fighters can tend to wait for the opportunity. For me, currently, it's looking a bit tricky, but I've got a good fight, and that's what I'm concentrating on. I think that Canelo makes this a big fight for me, makes it even more important. I know what's at stake, what the reward is, and that's what I've said when I was in Arizona. I'll fight these guys as long as I know what's next. This may lead to a world title fight next for me. It's easy, no matter what or who, I'm prepared. I'm at the point where I want to fight these guys. I want to get into big fights. May 21st is the next step. And when we handle that, we'll deal with whoever is next. This is nothing new. Outside, I'm cool, I'm calm, probably like a lot of boxers, but when I'm in the ring, I know what time it is. I know what I need to do and the situations. Nice guys come last, and that's what is in the ring. Outside the ring, how you want to be, but in the ring, I know what I have to do. In May, I'll be ready. All right, good for him. We look forward to Joshua Buatsi's next fight. Congratulations, Steady Earn, for setting that up. We look forward to a pretty big venue announcement, quite frankly. I think that should be a good one. That's it. Thank you very much for joining me here on Talk and Fight. Hope you like, share, subscribe to our channel, and also hit that notification bell to let you know when we're coming up next. I'll see you at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for Knuckle Up with Mike or F4.